So I'm in front of the camera this week, so we'll see how that goes. Roll intro. What's up, guys? It's great to be with you, I guess. That's how they say this works. But it's been a while. I hope you guys are all having a great summer. I'm back home in Scottsburg, Indiana, working at an internship for the summer. Going good. So let's get into what it is I guess we're here to talk about this week. That's Exodus chapters 21 through 22 is what I got to go over. So we'll get started. So Exodus 21 and 22, we're going over the law given to the people who've just come out of Egypt from God through Moses to the people, and especially the beginning part of chapter 21 and into 22 is a lot of just the fine details of the law, and then these sections that specifically deals with treating how you're supposed to treat people and servants and slaves, and that's a lot of deep conversation that would take a much longer video than this is going to be. So we're just kind of save that for a later discussion. If you want to come talk about that, come talk to me when we get back to school so we can spend the few days that it's going to take. So kind of with that being said, I'm going to jump into a specific part that I highlighted, and that's going to be Exodus chapter 21 verses 23 through 25, and that says, "But if there is serious injury, you are to take a life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, bruise for bruise." This is basically saying if someone was to do something to me, I have every justifiable right to get back at them the same way, if not more. So we're going to contrast that with what Jesus says later in Matthew 5, verse 38 through 42. And he says this: You have heard it said, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also. And if anyone wants to sue you, take your shirt, hand over your coat as well. If anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with them 2 miles. Give to the one who asks you, and do not turn away from the one who wants to borrow from you. In my mind, anyway, this kind of shows the how the New Testament law and the Old Testament law kind of contrast each other. And it's showing that as Christians, we're called to show grace to people, even when it's justifiable for us not to. When the rest of the world tells us we can get even and get back at that person, we need to show the grace that's been given to us so we can show Jesus to the most people. And that's kind of my 2 cents on chapter 21. So let's get back into 22. Okay, and basically the first half of chapter 22 can be summed up in don't steal, don't take things that aren't yours, because they're not yours, and you'll get in trouble with the police and God, so don't steal. Problem solved. Move on. And then if you've turned on a TV recently, you've seen kind of a lot of the unrest going on along the border, and without getting into deep political discussion, I'm just going to kind of leave this verse out there for you to kind of think on. It is Exodus 22, verse 21, my bad. Do not mistreat or oppress a foreigner, for you were foreigners in Egypt. Like I said, moving on. The next verses I kind of wanted to highlight were verses 25 through 27, and I'll read it and then I'll talk about what I think about it. So, verse 25 through 27. If you lend money to one of my people among you who is needy, do not treat it like a business deal. Charge no interest. If you take your neighbor's cloak as a pledge, return it by sunset. because that cloak is the only covering your neighbor has. What else can they sleep in? When they cry out to me, I will hear, for I am compassionate. To me, this kind of goes hand in hand with something my dad kind of instilled in us growing up, and it's that if you borrow something from someone, you do your best to return it in better condition than what it was when they gave it to you. So that kind of ended with me detailing a whole bunch of cars before we gave them back. But anyway, the concept is that you leave a mark, you do something better than it was when you got it. And I think where we are in life as students, that's something we can definitely take with us. We're, especially this being my senior year, kind of sits on you a bit heavy. We're only in college for 4, 5, 6, lots of years in some cases, but for most of us just our 4 years, and that's, in the grand scheme of things, a short time. We have not too long to make our impact, and then we move on to our next phase of life. So I guess what I'm trying to say is we don't have long to make our mark on trying. So let's do what we can while we're here. So I guess my challenge to you, all who's listening, for this week is that I just want you to think about, while you're at Trine, while you're in CCH, while you're where you're at for the summer, what is something that you can do, that only you can do, that will leave where you are a better place than it was when you got there? Just think on that for a little while. And then if you do come to some grand idea, I'd love to hear it. I'm super easy to find on anywhere online, Braden or Hale, not too tricky. Then if it's something big, go straight to Jordan, Travis, or Jess. I'm sure they'd love to hear from you this summer. Yeah, that kind of sums up my going throughs of Exodus 21 through 22, and I hope you guys are following along. If not, we're only halfway through the summer, plenty of time to get caught up before we get back to school. Yeah, so before we kind of close out for this week, just kind of some important dates coming up. I'm not sure when we're going to get this up, but this Friday, June 29th, is the last day to register for NSC. And I can't tell you how awesome it is to go. I went last year and it was just a blast getting to meet other people from different campuses and learning how they do life on their campus. And it's just kind of a neat thing to see. So we're going down to Tennessee this year, July 21st through the 25th. If you are interested, call the office today and get a hold of someone. Please, you will not regret it. And other dates coming up, July 11th is the next summer hangout. I'd love to see you guys there. We just had the last one this past week. Great time, bonfires, cookouts, can't go wrong. That is July 11th, if I didn't say that already, I probably did. But yeah, it's been fun. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys this fall. Bye, love you guys.